Alright, so today we are doing the Stealth Cam Sonix Pro. Basically a cellular trail camera by Stealth Cam. Some of the specs on it, 30 megapixel camera. It has auto connect to dual network, so wherever you're at, it's either going to connect to Verizon or AT&T. You don't have to select one, so that's pretty cool. That way, in case you get somewhere, you know, it selects to the correct one. You can do on-demand image or videos on the app. And also, it has an 80-foot range for basically triggering the camera, which is pretty good. Comes with a SD card, which is supposed to be a 32, but I don't know, having to take that out for a different camera, so I put an 8 in there. Anyways, supposed to come with a 32, comes with 8 AA batteries, Duracell brand, so you get a really good brand. And you're not getting some just like crappy batteries that won't last. Duracell is always good. Comes with a strap, and you get a free 60-day trial with the camera, which is pretty cool. So, you're gonna need a download. It has a QR code on the back. It's the Command Pro app, and it's by Stealth Cam, and it looks like that their little logo right there. Let's see if it'll focus. There we go. That little logo, the Command Pro app. So we're gonna get this thing unboxed, set up, and kind of walk you guys through it and go from there. So we're gonna get rolling. Let's get opening this box up. Excuse the mess. I make a lot of stuff in here. All right, let's just go ahead and start cutting into this. Wow, they make these packages pretty dang sturdy. All right, let's just go around the camera. Watch your fingers. You don't want to lose any digits or go get stitches. It's not fun. I've done it. All right. Well, so I've practically been running Tacticams, but I pretty much got these for free, so I figured, what the heck, why not make a video and see how easy the setup is or difficult it is. Just go from there. All right. All right. Okay. All right. First off, the camera's relatively small compared to like some of the other cell cameras, which is pretty cool. You could probably hide it a little bit easier, especially with this like wood texture. You can put a lock on it. It does have a lock option. If you guys are in public or have some places where people like to borrow and not return, you can. All right, so I've already gone to the App Store, but first thing you want to do is download the Stealth Cam Command Pro app. I'll put a screenshot of what the app looks like on the iPhone in the App Store. And what you're going to want to do is basically create an account with them. So you're going to put your email in, your phone number. You do need to put in a credit card that you're going to have on file for this, since it does have a cellular plan. And I'll also list, you know, what the options are for the plan. I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of the stuff out of the box just so we have it ready to go. But I'm going to set this aside for now. I do like the way it latches. It feels really secure, and it feels like it'd be relatively watertight. That's the SD card slot. There are no SIM card slots, so that's nice. You don't have to keep up with SIM cards. It does recommend putting a 32. I used it for something else, but I will be putting a 32 gigabyte card. It does come with it in this pack. Some of the Stealth Cams come with them, some of them do not. But let's go ahead and get this strap out. Do you think it'd be easier to get this thing apart? child proof, adult proof, everybody proof. All right, so behind this you get this little tag, you get a sticker. She doesn't like stickers, right? All right. So you get a stealth cam sticker, cool, throw it on your cooler, throw it on nothing, throw it in the trash. Whatever you want to do with it. Stick it on your neighbor. This just, I think it's just a pamphlet with gear you can get. It does have an option on this camera if you want to do cellular. Just some card readers you can get. 3-to-1, micro USB. I don't know why anybody would buy this. Just a trail camera viewer when everything's pretty much digital. I will say if you do get SD cards, make sure you get a class 10. If it's not Stealth Cam brand, just make sure you get a class 10, that little logo down there. Class 10, either 16 or 32 gig. You can get lock boxes, Python locks. I love these. I have them on a couple of my cameras, but all right, so there's that. You need 8 AA batteries, 32 gigabyte card, which it should come with. It comes with a tree strap. All right, so Command Pro app, you get dedicated cloud storage, so you can get access image from any device, whether it's your phone, your iPad, whatever. The gallery filters, you can sort and filter your pictures, like if you have multiple cameras, multiple bucks. This is actually really cool. Animal recognition. So if it starts to see the same buck, so it says same buck or same, I guess maybe group of does or whatever, it should be able to recognize them. I think using AI, which is pretty cool. We'll see how it works, but that's kind of the claim on their app. Over-the-air update, so you're not going to have to go in, get an SD card, put the update on a card, and put it back in like some cameras. It does it all through basically the internet connection. Remote camera settings, so you can adjust it whether you want to get instant pictures, hourly, daily, change the picture type, so if you want to do like 16 megapixels, 8 megapixels, 10, whatever it is, you can adjust that on the settings, or you can do video as well. Like I said, it's a 30 megapixel camera, 360p video resolution, which is okay. I mean, that's pretty good for a cell camera. 4-second trigger speed, on-demand images or videos. That means when you have the camera set up, you can click it on your app if you want to get a test photo, and it'll just send it to you automatically. I mentioned the dual networks. That's basically if it's going to be either AT&T or Verizon, depending on where you're at, the camera will automatically adjust to what the strongest network signal is. So you're not having to worry about, oh, did you pick the right camera? Because, you know, a lot of cameras are either AT&T, Verizon, or I don't know what y'all got in the Midwest, but there's other ones too. So that's good to know. The blur reduction technology, that's, I believe, is proprietary for Stealth Cam. You can do photo burst modes, which is pretty cool. And then the streamline interface, basically one sync button. Okay, so this is important. I said earlier, go ahead and get the Stealth Cam Pro app. You create an account, you basically follow the instructions, screw on the antenna, and then install the batteries, memory card. Do not mix old and new, always put new batteries in. All right, and so these are some good information for these. Flashing green lights. So if it's flashing, check hardware and battery status. Each light will turn a solid green when they are successful. If a light turns red, use the following error codes for plausible causes. So flashing green battery, green, flashing green network, check internet for a connection, flashing green account. So all three of those turn green. That means everything is successfully connected to your device. If it hasn't, you need to basically go in and troubleshoot. So if you get the first red light, if it's red, either you got no SD card, a low battery, or larger than 32 gigabyte card. The second light, if that one's red, you either have no SIM, loose SIM card, weak signal, or no active data plan. And the last one would be red. If your last one's red, that means your account has not been found or set up. All LEDs flashing red, software is updating. Do not turn off the camera during updates. It will mess things up. You don't want to do that. Reduce blur, we've gone over that. You give your camera name in the info bar on the app. You can do operating hours too. So if your camera's on 24/7, you're always going to be having it take photos. If you have a time range, you can basically set it to where the camera only takes photos during a certain time. So maybe that's during shooting hours, you want it to take photos, or during nighttime, you want to take photos, or whatever you want to do. So this kind of gives you an idea as far as battery usage goes, being that it's only 8 AA's. If you do it once per day, you're not going to use as much battery. Twice per day, you use it a little bit more. Hourly, instant group, which means 10 seconds of photos. It'll send them all in a group, or instant, which it takes it and sends it every single time. Which if you have a slow spot, like on a trail that maybe doesn't get as much action, or maybe it's seasonal of like when the deer come through, if it's not over corn, I would definitely do instant. But if you're over like, corn or bait or anything like that, maybe do twice per day while you're not hunting. And then when you're hunting, for the weekend, turn it on instant. That way, hey, if you see a deer on your camera, like, hey, I maybe should get out here to this spot at this time, just to give you an idea. So that's just my advice. Or if you want to keep paying for a ton of AA's, you can have it on instant all the time. If you have access to go replace the batteries, that's the biggest thing for a lot of folks. And that's basically it. We're going to go ahead and get this camera set up. I've created my account. It's not hard. It doesn't take but a few minutes to get done. All right, we're going to move this stuff out of the way. All right, like I said, we got 8 AA's. We're out. All right, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to the Command Pro app. It's gonna log me into my account that I've created. I've already got a camera on here. So what we're gonna do is, you see this little plus button. Not sure if it's gonna get with the glare, but there's a plus button. You wanna click that. If you already have an account, it'll walk you through it. Basically, you scan this when you ever get the app, it creates the account, you link your credit card to it to pay for the data plan. I have it on the unlimited plan. You can always turn it off after deer season's over. That's what I do with a lot of my cell cameras, is I'll run them for September till January here in Georgia, and then I'll turn them off. It's also kind of cool, sorry, ADHD. It has DeerCast linked to it, which is pretty cool, because normally you have to pay for DeerCast. So it gives you 3 days on it. It's pretty sweet. All right, so we're gonna add a camera. We're gonna go like this. Carrier is activating. It may take several minutes. So while that does that thing, it says we need to insert our batteries. So it already pinged the company. So we're gonna insert the batteries into the tray. And they also have lithium battery packs for these too. I don't know the exact model for this camera, but a lot of the newer cameras that take 16 AA's, they have them. So basically, all right. So we got this, we got the battery set up. This piece goes to the bottom. So what you want to do, you want to insert your SD card first before you put the battery in. So I'm just going to throw this guy in here, and it goes facing forward. All right, now we're gonna throw this in there, boom. And then we're gonna turn it power camera on. All right, so I saw a flash. We're getting a flash at the battery. We're gonna click next, format SD card, next, power on device. All right, yeah, we got one solid green. All right, camera registered, booyah. All right, that's what we want. Format SD card, set location, choose cell plan. Let's just say it's here. I'm not telling you where it's at. This is pretty cool. We're gonna say the camera's facing west. I'm gonna do 1,200 photos a month for $8. I already got one unlimited. I don't need another. That's the cool thing. There's not forcing you to do it. So we're gonna do next. And you can always change it too if you want. I agree, confirm. All right, finish. So it's pending an update right now. You can do a daily test, so it'll send you a photo. You can tell it what time, which is pretty cool. Other cameras don't do that. It's normally just when you set the camera up, that's when it sends you a photo. But resolution, so you can just do 16, save, 1 photo burst, 1 second interval. Yeah, R delay, amount of time the camera waits to be triggered again. Let's just do, 5 seconds is fine. Save. High, blur, standard. Time zone, we're gonna be in Eastern, so make sure you say whatever time zone you're in. 12-hour format, or you can do military, which we're gonna do 12-hour because I'm not smart. Always on. Fahrenheit, alkaline batteries, tells you all that jazz. All right, so now we got this sucker set up. Let's get it to take a photo. All right, cool. Starting to take photos. Good deal. That's what we want. Do like the cheap package. Make sure you turn your camera off while you're like going in the woods or moving around and stuff, because you'll be taking random photos. And I know that's important, and you don't want to, waste time or money with that. All right, so we know the camera's working now. So we set it up. We'll get it set up. We'll get you some pictures of what it looks like as far as with animals and people and all that jazz. So that's basically, in a nutshell, how you set it up. While you transport it, I'd recommend turning it off. So just swipe that thing off. Everything still saves. And so basically what you have is you got the camera, you got your strap. It's ready to go now. All right, guys, so this was the Stealth Cam Sonix Pro. Please, 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 if you guys could give this video a like, make sure you subscribe. That'd mean a lot to me. Trying to do a little bit more of this, get back into the YouTube world. Overall, it's a pretty easy setup. Once you create the account, it's pretty straightforward. Some of the other cell cameras back in the day, I know they were a lot more difficult as far as purchasing plans and doing that. This is pretty straightforward. Anybody can do it. Just make sure you have an email address. All in all, it's a pretty easy camera. I think anybody can get it set up. And if you don't want to do the $20 a month, I get that can be a lot of money for some folks. It is for me. So I do have one that's a unlimited plan, and then one that's the 1,200 a month plan, 1,200 photos a month for $8. I think that's a good bargain, especially if you have a couple of them, in different areas. That way you're not running, 3 or 4 cameras, $20 a month. That adds up quick. But overall, I think it's a pretty good entry-level camera. I appreciate you guys watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will be doing another Stealth Cam video in the near future. Thanks.